It might not be old big ears we are striving towards this season, but you can guarantee that Jurgen Klopp and his men will be targeting lifting the Europa League trophy in Dublin come next May. That journey to the final starts tonight as the Reds are on their travels to kick off this season's European adventure. Austrian side LASK play host to Liverpool in Group E of the UEFA Europa League as the Reds make their first appearance in this competition for 7 years. Yeah, welcome along. We are building up to this early evening kickoff in the company of Gary Gillespie and Stephen Warnock alongside me this week. I'm going to get the lads' thoughts on what lies ahead in Austria in a few minutes' time. First, though, let's go over there right now to the Raiffeisen Arena where Rob Jones has all the details of the Reds' starting lineup for our Europa League opener. Rob.
Good evening, everybody. Another European journey starts here for Liverpool 7 years on from their last Europa League game, which was a defeat to Sevilla in the 2016 final. Back in this competition, we did wonder just how much Jurgen Klopp would use the Europa League to rotate his squad. Well, the answer is a lot. The full 11 changes from the team that started the Premier League victory against Wolves on Saturday lunchtime for today's game against LASK here in Linz. So Gravesen Kelleher will start in goal, his first European appearance since the game against Midtjylland in December 2020. Stefan Bajcetic, back from injury, will start at right back. It's his first appearance since March of this year when he played in the defeat against Bournemouth. Virgil van Dijk, the captain, returns from suspension and partners Ibrahima Konate in the centre of defence with Kostas Tsimikas as the left back. Wataru Endo starts a European game for the first time for Liverpool, and it's a first start for the club in any competition for Ryan Gravenberch, who was a late substitute at Molineux on Saturday. Harvey Elliott makes up the midfield three. And talking of first starts for Liverpool, teenager Ben Doak gets one as well this evening in the front three alongside Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz. Plenty of strength, as you would expect, on the Liverpool bench. Two goalkeepers, Alisson and Jaros, and then Joe Gomez, Dominic Szoboszlai, Alexis McAllister, Mo Salah, who can extend his record of 42 European goals for the club, Curtis Jones, Cody Gakpo, Diogo Jota, Andy Robertson, and the two central defenders, Joel Matip and Gerald Kwanzaa. So the road to Dublin starts here, and Jurgen Klopp starts the night eyeing a little bit of club history himself. He could become the first ever Liverpool manager to make it 50 European victories if they can start their Europa League campaign with all 3 points here in Austria.
OK, that would be nice, wouldn't it? We expected changes. They are wholesale changes. Let's just take a look again at that team. 11 in total from the weekend win over Wolves, Gary. Most notably starts for Ben Doak. I'm sure you're very pleased to see in the starting lineup. We'll talk about him in a moment. Ryan Gravenberch, as Rob was saying, gets his first start. In comes Gravesen Kelleher as well. Stefan Bajcetic at right back. There were lots of permutations as to what this team might have been, Gary. Maybe a few surprises in there, would you say? I
think that's a standout surprise. Bajcetic, right full back. I watched him when he was playing with the under-18s. He played as a centre back. I don't think there should be a problem there. I think if you've kind of grown up playing kind of centre back and holding midfield position, I don't think it's too big a switch to play at right full back. I know Liverpool's full-backs are like, they ask a lot of them, certainly going forward and in attacking positions. But I think he's an intelligent young player. I think he'll handle that OK. And his combination with Doak on that right-hand side, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, he's a bright spark, isn't he, Doak? I think everybody's looking forward to him and seeing how he emerges and how he progresses in his career. Obviously just signed a big new lucrative contract as well, which should give him plenty of confidence. So I think all the changes, I mean, you've got like the backup on the bench if anything seems to go wrong. I think Elliott deserves his chance. I think every time that I've watched him so far, coming on as a substitute or whether he started, I think he's been lively, he's been bright. And hopefully it's a strong enough side that can get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about Ben Doak in a moment, Stephen, but just a word on Stefan Bajcetic. I mean, wherever he plays, just firstly, fantastic to see him back. Obviously got a few minutes for Spain's under-21s a week or so ago, but just great to see him back in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I think the big thing with the position of Bajcetic is that when we see Trent Alexander-Arnold play in that central midfield position, naturally he will wander into that position. So that'll suit him down to the ground, and then it almost doesn't change the way that Liverpool play when they've got Trent in there, or whether it's Bajcetic. I think the only other side of it is defensively, but from his point of view, to get some game time, to get a little bit of confidence back into him, to test the body, to see exactly where it's at coming back from the injury, will be important for him.
He was so impressive, Gary, when he came into the first team setup last season. And let's not forget as well, came into a team that was having a difficult time. I mean, this is a team, hopefully at the moment, early days, but looks to be in a really good shape. So you would expect to see a lot from him in the coming weeks, not just tonight.
Well, hopefully. I think the surprise was that he came into that side and he was a standout performer, regardless who was playing alongside him, whether it be Jordan Henderson, whether it be Fabinho. He was a standout performer in that holding number 6 position. I think he's got a great future. Stephen made a really good point there, and I've only just thought about it actually after you mentioned it, because Tsimikas I don't think is like adept at coming in and playing that kind of like midfield role. Yeah. I think Bajcetic on the right hand side, I think is far more capable of doing that and being a defensive minded fullback at the same time, as opposed to like Tsimikas doing that on the left hand side.
Let's have a chat about Ben Doak. Gary's touched on it already, obviously a young Scot, so Gary's thrilled that he's in the starting 11 tonight, but I think a lot of Liverpool fans so excited about Ben Doak and will be really eagerly watching him this evening.
Yeah, I think it was an exciting signing when he came into the club. I think there was a lot of talk around him about what he was capable of and what he'd been doing at Celtic, and then he sort of took the under-21s by storm, and then it's, can you step up to that next level? I think the one thing that stood out for me was the game against Bayern Munich in pre-season. To play against Alphonso Davies and to ragdoll him the way he did, and to take him on at ease. But then I think one of my big things when you've got a young player like that is, do you have an end product? Do you have that quality at the end of it then to pick a pass out? That's what will be labelled at him. But he does now. He's starting to show that he can put crosses into the box. He's thinking about where the crosses are going. It's not just putting it into an area. You can tell he's working on that final end product. I think the one thing that you can say about him is his belief and his confidence in his own ability is absolutely mind-blowing. He backs himself so much. Watched him for Scotland in the 21s game against Spain. Phenomenal performance. Yes, it's at an under-21 level, but he's doing it week in, week out, again, or day in, day out against the first team lads as well. They know he's a real talent as well.
When you look at, getting this kind of opportunity, Stephen mentioned obviously the pre-season friendly against Bayern Munich, but being able to play against European teams, it's another level of experience, isn't it, at just 17 years old as well? Well,
I think it's another level moving up from the youth team to train with the first team on a regular basis. And if you can do that and not look out of place, then you're ready to go and be a first team member. And I think at this moment in time, I think he is ready. Hence the reason why he's just signed a new contract. The one thing I would suggest that I hope they don't coach his natural ability out of him. Yeah. His natural ability is to run at people and take people on. And the game is crying out for players like that. I think we saw in the Bayern Munich game yesterday that there was a couple. Sani was one that ran at people. Gnabry, Musiala, people that can take people on and beat people. It creates so many openings and so many other chances for other players. I just hope that doesn't get coached out on him. But yes, Stephen's actually right. His final ball, his final product into the box has to be spot on, because that's really what creates goal scoring opportunities. Okay, excited to see him tonight. And finally, just a quick word on Ryan Gravenberch. Obviously saw a little bit of him against Wolves, but first start tonight, and he will be really wanting to make a good impression. Yeah, I think like anyone, when you get your first chance, the first opportunity, it's not only to show the fans what you can do, it's to show your teammates. Training's completely different to playing in games, and it's what influence you can have on a game. I've watched him quite a few times. I've commentated on him when he was at Ajax in the Champions League, both against Liverpool and against other teams. He's a talent, he is. I think it's interesting that
what's going to be his best position, because we know that Liverpool are crying out for a holding midfielder. He's not a holding midfielder as of yet, but does Jurgen Klopp see him playing there long term? He won't play there tonight because Endo will play in that position, but he's a box-to-box midfielder. I think it'll be interesting to see how he fares tonight.
A quick word on Gravesen Kelleher as well, because he showed his real desire to play for this club by staying in the summer. You know, he's clearly an exceptional keeper and could play week in, week out at a very high level. So it's opportunities like this and obviously the other cup competitions that he will really relish taking his chance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what went on behind the scenes, whether he had the opportunity to leave or not. But in saying that, I think we talked about it last season so many times that he's just too good to be a number two. And somewhere in his career, he'll have to make that decision whether he stays behind Alisson or whether he kind of moves on. He's chose to stay at Liverpool for whatever reason he decides to do that. I think he's in the right place at this moment in time. He's learning off the best. You have to say that Alisson Becker, if not the best goalkeeper in the world, certainly up there. So he is learning off his peers. I feel a little bit sorry for him. I hope he plays a lot of the games in this competition, and I hope he plays a lot of games in the Carabao Cup as well, because he deserves that.
Absolutely. OK, well, it is the first step on this year's European adventure for Liverpool, and we will be right across all the action for you on the club's platforms. Coming up at 5:45, we'll have live audio commentary for you with Steve Hunter and Phil Babb joining him tonight. And at 7:45, you can join us back in the studio for the Matchday reaction, where we will bring you the thoughts of our guests here and reaction as well from the players over in Austria. Then there is the full match replay on LFC TV and Go as well at midnight tonight. Then look out for Inside, which is, of course, our exclusive behind-the-scenes content on YouTube and Facebook. They will be up midnight Friday. OK, time now to say goodbye to our viewers across social media. If you do want to continue watching our build-up, though, you can find details of how to sign up to both LFC TV and LFC TV Go. It's on the official website, liverpoolfc.com/watch. Lots more to come for those of you watching on LFC TV and Go as well. After the break, we are going to turn our attention to tonight's opposition this evening. Plus, we'll hear from Jurgen Klopp, Virgil van Dijk and the Player of the Month as well, Dominic